Hey everybody, this is Heather and I am your hero here today. And today we're going to be going over getting prepared for the tax season coming up with all your business expenses, your end of year taxes, all your deductions, and all that great stuff that comes with your Mary Kay business. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So some of the features that we're going to be going over today that are very important when it comes to your end of year taxes for your Mary Kay business is customers, inventory, accounts, and reports. And for your customers, you want to make sure that your sales are entered and that all your balances are up to date. Make sure you don't have any outstanding balances due by a consultant, your customers, any team members. Make sure all those are up to date so that when you're doing your end of year taxes, you're not bombarded with having to enter all of that in at the end of the year. You should be doing it as you go so it's easier to maintain. So some of the things we're going to be going over today is creating invoices and sales receipts, receiving those payments, and also doing credits and refunds if somebody should return an item, or if somebody purchased a gift card and you want to apply a credit and things of that nature. So we're just going to hop over here to UnitWise. And to create a customer, you're going to go to Customers, Customer Center, and you click on Add New, and you just click on Customer, and you add in their information, and you just click Save. So what we're gonna do is we already entered in our customer. Now we made a sale, and now we're going to do a invoice. So to create an invoice, you're just gonna go to Customers and click on Invoices. You're gonna click on Create Invoice at the top right corner, and you're just gonna type in the name of your customer that you want to create the invoice for. You're gonna select the sales type. You're going to select the date, and then you're going to enter in your product details, the products that you sold. And once you've entered all your product details, you just want to make sure you enter in your shipping and handling, which should be $9.35. Unless it's a CDS order, then it might be $5.35, depending on what the standard is for Mary Kay these days. And then you're also going to enter the tax for your state, any discounts, and then it should give you a grand total and also any credit that's available. And once you create all those details, you're just going to click Save, and it's going to be added successfully. So now what we're going to do is receive payments. So to receive payment on an invoice, you're going to go to Customers, Receive Payments, all open, and the newest one that you recently added is going to appear first. So I'm just going to click on this invoice number, and at the top I'm going to click on Receive Payments. And this screen is a little tricky, so you want to pay very close attention to the screen so you don't overcharge your customer or apply it to the wrong invoice or things of that nature. So what you're going to do first is uncheck the Receive Full Payment. You're going to put the amount that is received. So this is the total amount of payment received that you want to apply. So she has a $100 credit on this screen, but I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to put $0. So then it should say amount to credit 0, amount to apply 0. So I'm going to put that she paid $50. So I put $50 towards the total payment received. And then you uncheck the first invoice that's marked, because it will do that by default. And then you just select the invoice that you wish to apply it to. Always make sure that this amount to credit says 0 if you do not mean to apply, if you're not trying to give any credit to the customer. So for the payment type, I'm going to click on cash, deposit into ProPay, and click Save. And once you do that, it's going to give you a notification letting you know that the payment has been received successfully. So to create a sales receipt, you're going to want to go to Customers, Sales Receipt, Create Sales Receipt. And sales receipts are similar to invoices. The only difference is that when you scroll down after you entered in your product details, it's going to have the receipt payment screen in the same screen. So you're applying the payment right then and there, all in the same one. So you might be asking, what is the difference between the two? So the difference between a sales receipt and an invoice is a sales receipt is when you collected payment at the time that the order was submitted. And an invoice is mainly for as if you did not collect payment at all the date of the order, or they're going to be making payments over time so that you can apply payments to the invoice that you created. And again, you want to make sure your shipping and handling and your tax is up to date with what you are supposed to be charging for your state and what Mary Kay wants you to be charging for shipping. And it's going to give you the amount payable, and then you just select your payment type, your account that you want to deposit to, and you click Save. And then you're going to again get a notification that it's been added successfully. The next thing that we're going to be going over is the inventory. With the inventory, you want to make sure that your UnitWise inventory matches what is currently on your shelf for end of year tax purposes, so that you're not having to make any inventory corrections at the end of the year. So some of the features that we're going to be going over is importing, create purchase orders, and adding products, and also book editing your inventory should you need to make any necessary changes. So we're going to go back to UnitWise, and in the inventory, you're going to go to Inventory, you're going to click on Products, and to add a product, you're just going to click on Add Product. And this adding products screen comes very handy as if you're making your own Christmas bundles, or if you're having your own sale and you're grouping a bunch of different products together, or you're selling gift certificates of that nature. And then you just enter in your price that you want to sell the gift certificate for. And once you have all those details entered, you just click Save. And once you click Save, you should have the new product there available for you to use. And I just remembered I forgot to go back and show you guys how to do the refund. So I'm just going to go over to the customers and do a credit refund. So you go to do credit refund, you're going to go to customers, credit refund, click start credit refund, refund from credit, you type in their name. You're going to put the amount that you want to refund. And once you do the refund, it should, and then once you click Save, it's going to apply that refund, and it should go back to the credit balance is 0. Okay, and now we can go back to the inventory. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so going to inventory, you're going to go to inventory, and to do a purchase order, you're going to click on order from Mary Kay. And at the top right hand corner, you're going to click on create purchase order. And to import from InTouch, you're just going to put in the subject, the order date, and you're going to click on import from InTouch. And make sure your preferences are entered in your UnitWise account before doing the Mary Kay import from InTouch for the purchase orders. So what you want to do is once you put in your preferences for your Mary Kay credentials, you're going to go to InTouch. Depending on whether you have the new InTouch or the old version. On the new version, you're going to go to My Ordering, and then over on the right under My Toolbox, you're going to click on Order History, and you're going to click, just like this picture shows, you're going to click on the reference number. So it'll say MK and then it'll give you a number. If you have the old InTouch, you're going to go to intouch.com. You're going to go to under ordering, and under ordering you're going to select order status, and once that page loads, you're going to see all the list of all your product purchase orders that you have submitted, and you're going to find the one that you want to import. You're going to click on the shipped link, and at the top you're going to then copy this URL, and the same thing is for if you have the new InTouch, you're just clicking on different things. You're going to copy that https://applications.marykay.intouch.com. And to do that, you're just going to, just like I'm doing on the screen, you're just going to click right there, and it should highlight blue. And you're going to right click and click copy. And whenever you go to this screen and you get this window, there's going to be a box right here, and you're just going to paste in there and click import. And then once you import, it's going to then add all your products on the screen with the purchase order totals already generated and everything. And once you've added all the products that you want to add on your purchase order, or you've imported your purchase order, you're then going to click on Save. And also make sure that you select the Pay From account as well. And once you click save, you're going to get a notification just like everything else. You're going to see a green notification that says purchase order created successfully. But this is not the last step, guys. There's a few more steps that you're going to need to complete in order for the purchase orders to be successfully entered in your UnitWise account. So once you've entered and saved your purchase order, you're going to click on the confirm here that you placed this order with InTouch. You're going to put in your MK reference number and click confirm. And once you do that, the purchase order has been marked as placed. So that means you place your order on InTouch. Now you're just waiting to get the products arrived at your home or your studio, wherever you're having the products delivered. And once you receive those products, you're then going to want to go again back to your InTouch. Not your InTouch, sorry. You're going to go back to UnitWise. And in your inventory, you're going to go to under inventory, order it from Mary Kay. And it will say receive products. And you're going to click on receive products. And then once you received your products, you're going to click receive all and save. And you'll get a notification of that as well. And it will then add those products that you received to your inventory so that your inventory is up to date. And a way to know if your order from Mary Kay is all the stuff's been completed is whenever you go to inventory, order from Mary Kay, it will say order completed, view history. If you're on the second step, it's going to say confirm order with InTouch. That means you have not yet completed all the steps to receive the products. The third step is receive products, and that's if you're just waiting on the products to arrive to your house. But once all the steps have been completed, it's going to say order completed, and then it's going to ask you to view your history. So the next thing that we're going to be going over is the bulk edit features in case you need to make any last minute changes, or if you have some new products that you didn't import yet, or forgot to import and you don't want to enter that in and you just entered it in as an expense. To do the bulk edit, you're going to go inventory, products, and click on bulk edit. And to change the quantity on hand, you're just going to double click and it will highlight blue. You entered in the product that you want, click off, and the quantity on hand will be updated. You can also, a great feature, if you're not wanting to scroll through all of these for days and you just want to get to the one product to update that one product quantity on hand, you're just going to type in that name of that product. And it even works for part numbers as well. So for right here, I'm just going to update the quantity and click off, and again, it's going to be updated. And the same thing works for the price, the retail price, the lot size, the discount, also whether it's a hot seller, and you can also change the product name. The next thing that we're going to be going over is the accounts feature. This is very important. You want to make sure all your accounts and your expenses are up to date for best tax reporting on your reports. You just want to make sure that all that's up to date. And we also recommend keeping your business expenses away from your personal expenses. And make sure you're entering all your record keeping expenses and keeping all that up to date so that your taxes are ready to go at the end of the year. So we're going to be going over chart of accounts, your other income and expenses. So we're going to go back to UnitWise, and under accounts, you're going to click on chart of accounts. And this is going to show you a list of every single account that you have in UnitWise, whether there are 3 types of accounts. There's bank accounts, there's income accounts, and then there's expense accounts. And on this page, you can view transactions, your balance, and you can even enter the balance as well. So to create a new account for expenses or income, you're going to click on Add New Bank Account, and this is how you create create a new bank account. But if you're wanting to create another type of account, you just click on Accounts, Chart of Accounts, click Add New, and you can choose Income or Expense Account. I'm going to choose Income. Click Next. You're going to enter in the name of that account. And click Save. And then once you do that, it's going to then add that account to your list of accounts for other income. To create other income, you're going to go to Accounts, Other Income, and click on Create Other Income. And this is really great for entering incomes like interest income, rebates from vendors, your commissions, and your direct receipts. You do not want to enter the sales of goods here because those are automatically recorded for you when you do cash sales or invoices or sales receipts. And you're just going to select the account. You're going to select the category. And once you entered all that information, you just click save. And then that income deposit will be successfully added. And so now when you go to checking, it's going to show you the updated balance. And to add in an expense, you're going to go to accounts. You're going to click on expenses. Click on add expense. You're going to enter the amount. You're going to enter the payee name. Whether it repeats. You're going to select the account name. Any attachments, if any, and click save. And then again, you're going to get a notification that it's been added. So now we're going to go over is the list of year-end tax reports. And this is a list of your popular reports. It's the sales breakdown report, snapshot of quantity on hand, profit and loss details, and your annual summary of expenses. You also want to note that these may not be the only reports that you are going to need for your filing taxes. We always advise you that you consult with a tax professional. So to view those reports, you're going to go to expenses, you're going to go back over to UnitWise. You're going to go to home and click on reports. And instead of clicking and scrolling all the way down, you're just going to click on this arrow and it pulls all that information up. And you're going to click on year-end tax. And you're going to do the sales breakdown report first. And again, this may not be all that you need. You're going to click on previous calendar year and click run report. And to print off this report for your tax accountant, you just go to this floppy disk with the green arrow icon and click on Excel, PDF, or Word. And once that downloads to your computer, you just open it up and click the print icon. And the other report that you're going to need is the snapshot of quantity on hand. And this is going to give you quantity that you have on hand for both section 1 and 2. And for the as of date, it's not going to let you go past the current date, but you want to make sure that says December 31st for your tax purposes. And you click run report, and it's going to give you the total value and the as of date and all the products that you currently have. And the next report is the profit and loss details report. You're going to click on profit and loss, previous calendar year. You can choose whether you want to include personal use customer. Click run report and it will give you all those details. Or if you don't want to include it because you should keep it separate, you click run report and it won't include those. The last report is the annual summary of expenses. And you again want to click on the previous calendar year and click run report. And it will give you all the amounts and for each category for your expenses and also the grand total. But if you're looking for specific details, you should find all your year-end tax reports under the year-end tax category. But if you're wanting details for your expense purposes, we recommend going to Sales, click on Annual Expense Details, Previous Calendar Year, and click Run Report. And it will give you those totals that you just saw on the screen, but also the details for each category as well, in case they need the details as well. And I also just want to let you guys know, we do have an awesome referral program. For every 4 referrals, you get 1 month free of UnitWise. And they must pay their first month of UnitWise first. And to do the referrals in UnitWise, you want to go to your UnitWise account, and in the top right hand corner, if you don't have an image, it'll be a gray profile image in the top right corner in a shape of a circle. You're going to click on My Account, click on Referrals, and it will show you a list of the referrals that you've sent, whether they're eligible or not eligible. And you're going to click on Claimed Referrals, and these are the referrals that you've claimed already. And you can also see a referral email log of everyone that you sent the referral emails to. And if you're wanting to send referrals emails to your MK friends that you might think, oh, hey, UnitWise might be perfect for them, you click on Click Here to Send Referrals. You just type in their email and click Send, and it will then send them that email, letting them know to sign up underneath you. And if they do sign up, they'll show up here, and you just want to make sure you give them your username. If you're not aware of your username, you can always give us a call. We're always happy to give that information out to you after answering some security questions. Some last minute tips for your year-end inventory, your expenses, for your tax purposes is, again, we wanted to advise you to consult with a tax professional. You want to keep your business from your personal expenses. You also want to make sure you maintain and enter records of your expenses as you go, so you're not missing any important details that might be available for deduction. Another thing we recommend is keeping all your MK documented records. Even though you're entering in UnitWise, also keep those for your records as well, in case you misentered something. And we also want to keep in mind that you want to keep records of all things regarding income, your commissions and things like that. Make sure you're entering them in UnitWise. And also, lastly, make sure you keep your deposit slips and bank statements, and keeping all your inventory up to date and your inventory counts. Another tip we want to recommend is make sure you're keeping track of the products that are expired, you gave away on demo or personal use, also given as hostess gifts. And make sure you also keep entering things as you go throughout the whole year, so at the end of the year you're not overwhelmed with all the things that you have to enter for tax purposes. And again, my name is Heather, and I want to thank you guys for joining us for this year-end tax webinar. And Merry Christmas as well, and Happy Holidays. And if you want more information, you can visit our site at UnitWise.com. We can also be reached at phone at 704-234-6006. And if you're not available to give us a call, we are available Monday through Friday as well, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. For live chat. And we also have 24/7 email support as well. So for any questions over the weekend, or if we're just out of the office and you have a question that cannot wait, or just in general, just give us an email at heroes@unitwise.com. Again, this is Heather, and Merry Christmas.